Estoy cargando. Ok, estamos online. Buenas noches, queridos amigos. Espero que se encuentren bien. Buenas noches, Ebenezer. Estamos aquí
Buenas
juntos
noches.
para... Buenas noches. Estamos juntos para una nueva conversación en inglés en nuestra comunidad This is Unbolievable. Creo que es válido iniciar en español, ya que ahora sí somos el 100% hispanohablantes, entonces estamos aquí entre dos bolivianos para compartir una nueva conversación. El título de hoy va a ser el arte de la comunicación. En inglés sería The Art of Communication. Solo para explicarles un poquito de cómo funcionan este tipo de conversaciones, si un momento ustedes quieren participar. De hecho, son conversaciones gratuitas, son posteadas en LinkedIn y futuramente voy a comenzar a postar también en Instagram, también tal vez para poder tener más alcance de personas que quieren encontrar un lugar seguro, un lugar donde solamente nos dedicamos a practicar y aprender el inglés en este caso. ¿Ok? Entonces aquí no tenemos profesores, yo no soy profesor de inglés, Benecer y yo trabajamos en áreas diferentes que no están relacionadas ni con la educación. Estamos simplemente aquí para practicar e intentar crear una conversación real con el idioma inglés. Para eso se envía una lista de preguntas con un tópico específico. No son conversaciones random, son conversaciones dedicadas y apuntadas que apuntan a un tópico con diferente vocabulario que puede ser aplicado. Entonces, eso sobre nuestra conversación. Normalmente iniciamos con una pequeña presentación personal. Creo que es bastante importante para poder utilizarlo como un calentamiento y dejar saber a nuestro cerebro que estamos cambiando a un nuevo idioma y eso es en general. Entonces, let's switch to English, my friend. And let's move on to the question number. I believe that we can skip at this time the question number 0 because we know each other well and you already participated on other conversations. So I believe that people who follow us on YouTube already know a little bit about you. So let's move on to the question number one. Uh, so what does good communication mean to you? Do you think that communication is just about talking, just about knowing phrases, or having a good articulation or pronunciation? What do you think about it?
Well, good evening for everyone. And good communication. Okay, good communication is when we have a sender and we have a receiver. But what turned a communication uh, good? It's when the message that I am trying to express is understood by my receiver. So for me, it's a clear and mutual understanding, a message between two persons, maybe more than two. It's not what it's not about what is said, but also about what is heard and understood and requires clarity, maybe sometimes empathy, and of course a feedback. So for me, I think that.
Great, great. Thanks so much for having shared your insights. I agree with you. I believe that it's important to convey your ideas clearly. And about my question that was about pronunciation or words or vocabulary, from my view, it's not about that. Obviously, it's part of it, but it is not the most important thing about communication. I know people who speak really well, like have a high English level, but when they want to convey something or they want to transmit any ideas, for them it's really like tricky to organize their ideas and communicate what they want to say. So on the other hand, there are people who has like low level of English or even in Spanish, but they can communicate well because they use the words, the specific words, even gestures, or yeah, even gestures to convey, to transmit their ideas in an effective way. So I just said communication is not about just words, just phrases. Everything communication is something else as a whole. So let's move on to the question number two. Um, could you please read the second one and answer it?
Okay, it says, do you think communication is more about speaking or listening, and why? Yeah, okay. I think the a critical part of a conversation is listening more than speaking, because you can speak a lot, and if you don't have a feedback, or maybe the receiver is not catching what are you saying, and we miss the information, or maybe the receiver is not getting what you're trying to convey. So I think listening it's principle, and of course for understanding it, and allowing you to tailor your message to your audience needs to be you need to be you need to speak clearly, and of course you need to get the you need to get the attention of your receiver, right? So I think listening for me it's critical in a good conversation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. For my view as well, listening is essential because sometimes we tend to like try to get all of the attention, and when we want to like be the point of attention in a conversation, normally we start talking too much and we forget that communication and conversation is about two or more people, and it's not just about one person. So I believe it's something like a ping pong, something that you send, something that you receive, and everybody has to have the right time to express their ideas. And I believe that for being a good communicator, firstly, we have to learn how to be a good listener. And about listening, it's not just be there and like having that input of information. From my view, it's you have to be really present over there. It's like you have to be understanding and perhaps interacting and trying to really understand what that people is trying to say, because I believe that, for example, sometimes we are so tired. I believe that perhaps that happened to you as well. We are so tired after our work, and we got home and we have like a conversation with our relatives, with your wife, with your child, with your children, in your case, and sometimes they are trying to tell us something about their days, and we are just there and like, okay, tell me, but we are not processing anything. We are just, okay, tell me what you want to say, and that's it. That's for my view. For my view, is not being a good listener. But I believe that it happens for everybody as well, and it depends on the context and on the perhaps your current your situation at that moment. And that's it as well. My comment about the question number two. Sorry. Let's move on to the question number three. I found this one really interesting to know more from your perspective. So Ebenezer, how do body language and facial expression affect communication? What do you think about it? Do you think that they are important? They are like, or something that we can like neglect when we are in a conversation, in a meeting?
Yeah, I think it's essential because in some cases when you have like facial expression, or maybe you use hands or something like that when you are talking, I think you try to emphasize a certain point, or maybe you want to get more attention about the from the audience. So, or maybe you want to transmit some emotion, or intend uh, some words for, because for example when you say like if someone asks you if you are okay and you just say I'm fine, but if you show a face with a different uh, that is not it is not this the or the word fine doesn't uh, it's not it's like it's not connecting with your expression, right? So maybe you can express more with reactions, not just words but with reaction, with something like with the hands or maybe your face. I think is essential for a receiver, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. From my view, it's the same. From as I already mentioned it, facial expression and body language, it's important. As a matter of fact, it's a competence. It's a skill that it has to be developed if you wanna become a good communicator. Because it's not like everybody will be over there like expressing themselves, and sometimes we think that it's like a gift. Obviously, some people has this ease on this skill. However, as every single skill is something that can be developed. And if you want to be a good communicator, if you wanna like do your speeches or your presentation in a better way, I'm gonna say, you have to learn how to use your body language, your expression, and I believe it gets a conversation richer. I believe that's how a conversation can be something more than just words. So yeah, that's it from my view as well. Let's move on to the next one. I believe that we are going fastly now, as we are just two, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So, could you please read I believe the fourth one. Yeah. Could you please read the fourth one and answer it?
Okay, what role does tone of voice play in conversation? Yeah, tone of voice. I think the tone of a voice can change the meaning of a word because it's not the same when you say something in a smooth way that when you say it like with a chart of emotion, right? So tone of voice is the for me deliver the message differently. So I think it could play a good important role. It depends on the conversation you are handling, but tone of voice I think it conveys feelings like anger, happiness, maybe, or maybe you are serious, and so yeah, it's a important. It plays a good role in conversation.
Yeah, you use an expression on a word in your second response, and I am gonna use the same one. From my view, it's critical, and I learned it from Flash because when we are angry, we tend to like use a high tone of voice when we want to express something because we are in a fighting, and it's like a fighting that battle that we want to win, and for that we normally change our tone of voice. That happens when I have when I argue with my wife, for example, or we have different discussions. It's something I learned that sometimes, even though I'm trying to like to solve problems or try to find solutions in some discussions, uh, I cannot change that tone of voice. But I realized that when everything already finished, and she told me, but obviously we could we could figure it out, because you change your tone of voice, because even when you were trying to solve it, you were still using the other tone of voice, like you were like in a fight. So yeah, it's something that I learned, and it's completely important, even in at work, and it's part of culture as well. um, I have a colleague who is not from Brazil nor from Bolivia. He's from Africa. I don't know. He's from Angola, and the way that Angolians, I believe, is the word of people who come from there. They express themselves like a little bit tough. It's tough, or it's like direct compared with Brazilians or Bolivian. And I believe that for people who are like used to have different kind of conversation and going in a meeting with people with have that way to express themselves, it can be like a little bit difficult to understand that it's their culture, and it's not about that people is kind of being like mean or dictator. I don't know how to say that in English, but yeah, I believe that tone of voice is important, and as well, I believe it's part of as well of our culture. I know a lot of languages like sound like they are discussing, they are arguing, they are even fighting or doing those kind of things, but they are not. It's just the way that they speak. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. We answered the fourth one, so let's move on to the fifth one. Let me see here. How important is eye contact in effective communication? Well, in my opinion, it's critical as well. You have to be like really paying attention, and you show that throughout your eyes. I believe that this as well is a sign of security. It's a sign of um, confidence. I'm gonna say. I read some books that even my wife told me that when you don't look at the eyes to the of the people who is talking to you or the person who is talking to you, it shows like you are not you are kind of insecure, or you are not confident enough, or you don't feel confident in that situation. Uh, on the other hand, I truly believe that eye contact is important. Even though if you are talking to a group, something I learned sometimes I share the Sabbath lesson in our Sabbath class in church, and I try to like have an eye contact with every single member of the meeting. At least 10 seconds or 15 seconds is enough to let them feel that they are part of the conversation, or at least I am conveying my ideas to everybody, not just to one person. So yeah, that's it. What do you think about it, Ebenezer?
Well, yeah, I'm completely agree what you said. And I think eye contact, but today's it's I well I when I read this question, I remember those cases when you are, I don't know, in a restaurant and there are a lot of people waiting for the food, and most of them are they are, I think they are talking, but most of them are stick on the phone, right? So they don't maintain eye contact, maybe because the conversation is not as relevant, right? It's okay, but eye contact I really signifies, for me. I think it signifies attention. It I think it's show respect for the person you are talking to, right? And you are showing that you are engaged in the conversation. So for me, it not just for the how important is the conversation, but I'm sometimes I, of course, I am on the phone and I say that I'm listening, I am answering what they are asking me, but I'm trying to try to maintain, as you said, at least 10 15 seconds the eye contact to show that I'm, or when he's talking, try to make eye contact to to make him or her feel that I am paying attention.
Thanks so much, Ebenezer, for your insights, for your response. Another thing that I would like to add is regarding to this question. What do you think about eye contact here on Zoom meetings, like in online meetings? Do you think that is important? I believe it's something slightly different because we are not in person. But do you think that it's like important to like stay like watching or seeing at the camera while the other person is speaking? What do you think about it?
I think it's difficult because for to have eye contact, you need to see the cam lens, the lens cams, right? So you're not going to see you're seeing the screen, and in that case, we don't have eye contact on virtual conversation, right? But we are. I think we just got used about this, so that's what I think.
Yeah, I believe it's another way to have. I believe that you really have to develop different skills for like leading conversations online. It's a slightly bit different than a normal conversation. So yeah, and you have to find the ways to like having appealing conversation or appealing topic or using the right words. Yeah, it's really interesting to talk about it. Perhaps it can be a different topic for another conversation. So let's move on to the next question. Could you please read the sixth one and answer it? You're muted.
Okay. Yes. Okay. It says, "Can silence be powerful tool in communication, and how?" Yeah, I think when you make a pause when you are talking or in a conversation, I think you can show your receiver. Or that you are not answering with the first thing you are thinking. So you stop to think and to say something that is not that you are not just answering what you think fastly. So in that case, silence could be a powerful communication tool too. Maybe you can make a pause to emphasize a point, or maybe to show a time for reflection, or maybe to express a discomfort. So in some cases, when someone is having a bad time, maybe you can get closer and just stay with no word, but you are there. I think it's another way to communicate something, maybe
Mm-hmm.
empathy, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I was thinking about that. I was organizing my ideas to express this. Yeah, when for example your partner or your friend or the person who are like talking to is sad for somewhat for something. I don't know. For example, if you are in a funeral, a silence can be a good way to communicate something that you feel sorry for what is happening to her or to him or to them. Yeah, silence is powerful, but you have to know how to use it. For example, in a presentation, you cannot keep silence for a long time because people will think that you don't know what you are doing there. But on the other hand, in the other context that we already mentioned it or we brought to the table, silence can be powerful. Yeah, and just as you said, we can express empathy, we can express our pity as well, and our feel, our just the let me see how can I express it. Just the fact of being there without saying anything can be perhaps beneficial for the other one. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. I'm gonna read this one. We already finished the sixth one. We have yeah, we have almost 30 minutes to keep talking about this topic. Okay, so let me see the question number 7. What are the main barriers to good communication? That's a difficult one. Mm, let me see here. What are the main barriers to good communication? Uh, as I already said I believe it was in the third one, it's when people tend to speak too much, when they think that they are the point of attention of the yeah, the point of attention of a conversation. Another barrier can be language as well. Even now in this at this moment, for example, we are trying to exchange ideas in English. However, I believe that we are doing really well because from my view, I can understand everything that you has tried to convey. But in another context, I believe that language can be a big barrier. For example, for me, nowadays in important meetings, it's like difficult to express my ideas in Portuguese. I don't know why. Perhaps because of the because when obviously I live here in Brazil and you live here in Brazil, when we are in a meeting with like 99% of Brazilian attendees, it's you create that pressure on you that perhaps everybody speaks like really well, really good Portuguese, and you have to express something in a group of people, and you feel like that tension. I'm not sure if it's related to that, but sometimes I feel like that. Even though I consider that I have a decent Portuguese, but I believe that it's part of what happened to me as well happens to me normally in that context. And what do you think about it, Ebenezer?
Yeah, of course, the language is one of them. And trying to thinking about the past questions, I can say that we were talking about good communication as a when you have a sender and you have a receiver. So what it turns good when your receiver get your or gets the ideas that you want to transmit. So what does this ideas could be how can I say uh, how your receiver could be how your receiver can't and understand can't get what you are trying to transmit. So maybe the distractions. So a barrier could be a distraction. So the cell phone, he could be physically he could be in front of you, but maybe mental he is distracted. And when you use a language, technical language, maybe you said something about that. When you use because the main point is to transmit, and your receiver can can give you a feedback what you have you or what you try to transmit. So maybe if you are using a language that could be more very technical, and maybe you're not talking with a person that is technical. When you are when you have emotional when you are with with some emotional uh, tone in your conversation. Maybe you feel stress, maybe you are anger, and you are and you can maybe you can cloud your ideas. And when you have and I think when you perceive that you have you are or there is a lack of active listening. So I think I can think about those cases, right?
Got it. Thanks so much for have shared your insight, your acknowledge. Um, let's move on. I already answered it, so let's move on to the next one. What do you think? Could you please read the eighth one and answer it, please? It's an
Yeah,
interesting one.
yeah. How does culture influence the way people communicate? And when you were talking about your colleagues, and you were talking about that you have an African guy in your team, right? So yeah, of course. I I think culture plays a interesting role here because in some places they speak like in different tone of voice. It's very normal that when you try to compare the how some language sounds, and you I don't know if you have seen those memes when how something is said in different kind of language, and you and in the final they put Germans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how it sounds very tough, right? So and yeah, maybe for us, if you go to Germany, maybe it could sound like they are anger, and but no, no, they are, of course they are not. In and in other cases, the ways you compliment someone, like you hand your shake, and maybe you give them a hug. In our country, giving a hug is very normal, but if you go to
Mm-hmm.
another places, you can just maybe just shake the hands, and that's
Mm-hmm.
it. In we were talking about eye contact in and we talked about that eye contact is a symbol of respect, but
Mm-hmm.
I know that some places eye contact is not it's
That's good.
like yeah, it's not good, and so I think culture you need to when you go to a different place, you need to know about what
Mm-hmm.
some things can could be different from what you are used to do, right?
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with that part. As a matter of fact, I had a bad experience with eye contact in the United States. I was with my wife and we were like going to shop to buy something in a shop, and there was a guy who was like stand up over there, and I don't know why I had that eye contact with him. I believe that he got angry because of that, and he even started insulting us. I don't know why, but he got really mad, and it was just like that. It was nothing else. But yeah, I believe that culture is something that changes communication at all. If you communicate well in perhaps here in Brazil, it's not gonna be the same in Bolivia or in the United States or in Europe or whenever. Another thing I would like to add is as well. There is I believe that people changes and it depends as well of the weather because I'm not sure perhaps I'm mistaken, but from my view, people who come for the eastern part of Bolivia, where is the it's like colder than the other part. People there is they are like a little bit more introverts than those who are come from the tropical part. I'm not sure if you agree with that, but I believe that it can affect as well the way that we communicate. Some people could be like or sounds a little bit polite or a little bit more friendly when they speak, and perhaps people of the other culture of the other side of the your own country will sound differently. But it's not because they're trying to like being mad or being unpolite with you. It's just the way that the language or the way that communicates is for them. Like it's like normal to for them. So yeah, it's I believe it's uh, oh, I forgot the word. It's a like white. Yeah, it's a white topic of a study. So, but from my view, it's like that. So, it's yeah, we still have time to still answering the questions. Let's move on to the question number 9. Do you prefer face-to-face conversation or digital communication? Why? It's an interesting one. What do you think about it?
I think it depends. It depends. If you have an interview, of course, I think it's better a face-to-face conversation. If you need to talk about something serious, I think it's presential. It's a better option because maybe you can transmit better what you feel or what you need to transmit, or maybe you want to ensure that the information is understood. Of, for me, talking face to face, it's better. But digital communication, of course, it's very. I think it help us. Maybe we don't have the time, or we don't. We will like now we are using it to talk about something that I think that it's important too. We are practicing English, and we are trying to 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 learn a little different topics. So yeah, uh, what can I say? Both of them are good. Both of them has pros and cons. It depends. For me, it depends of the situation. It depends of what do you want to talk, and it depends of the it depends of the place. Okay, if you live close, you can meet each other and talk. I think it's okay. But if you don't, so digital communication can resolve.
Well, yeah, it was. You said almost everything that I wanted to share here. Uh, I believe, as you said, it depends on in the context or the type of conversation that you're gonna have. Let's take like solving marital problems, marital problems. For example, those kind of issues. It's impossible to try to solve online. I believe that it's better to do it face to face. But obviously, if the couple is like they live in different places for X reason, it's perhaps there is not another way, but if you have the chance to do that face to face, obviously it's the best way. In my case, I prefer to give interviews online. I feel more comfortable. I feel more confident. I believe that having interviews in person is a little bit intimidating, even though it's like normal for every single field. But fortunately for us as software developers, for people who work in IT area, online interviews are kind of normal and they became common. So yeah, it's like online interviews nowadays is like my comfort zone. I feel really, really, really confident in that context. Um, what else? Yeah, that's it as well. But in general, I nowadays I think that I prefer like well, face-to-face conversation for me for in language learning terms, it's crucial. I prefer to do it face to face, even though we are doing it online. From my view, it's totally different to do it face to face. I believe that you acquire or you live the language in a different way. Even more if you have a native speaker over there talking to you face to face. It's different. You can see the expression, you can see the way that they articulate the real sound, because here, the sound is not that good quality. Perhaps in the future we will have a better setup for guiding this kind of conversation, but it's in terms of language learning, I would prefer face-to-face conversation. Yeah, and that's it. That's it for my view. Let's move on to the next one. Could you please read the 10th one and answer it?
Okay. Okay. How do you handle misunderstandings in communication? Yeah, okay. I think I can ask for feedback. I can try to ask a little some questions about the topic we were talking about, or trying to ensure that the receiver has got the idea, or something like that. I think there are tools to handle this. If this is very important, of course you maybe you of course you need to be you need to ensure that the message has been delivered. So I think in that in those things I could be used for me in that case.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. From my view, it's trying to be a better listener, because sometimes we are like an important meeting, even more if it's an online meeting and you have a lot of distraction here, you start like stop paying attention. So if you have like issues understanding what the other person is trying to convey to transmit, perhaps it's because of you, it's not because of him or of her. So try to find what is like the structuring or deteriorating your to you to receive, or what is avoiding you to receive the message in the right way. And it's really uncomfortable when you are in a meeting and they ask you something and you feel that you were not over there, and everybody understood it, and you was the only one who didn't, and you have to like figure it out, uh, like to say something really general, just to try to show them that you got some of the insights. And that happened to me as well several times, so I try to pay more attention nowadays, even more if it's uh kind of important meetings, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, paying attention, being intention, being present over there, I believe that it's important. Let's move on to the next question. We have still time to answer at least one or two more. Uh, Nisar, you can choose whatever question you want from 11 to 15.
Let me check. Okay. Hi. Okay, let's go for the media, social media. The next
Mm-hmm.
one. Do you think social media improves or damage communication skills? Why? Okay. Okay, I think social media has both positive and negative effects in communication skills, because of course you can connect with more people, right, from everywhere, and you can learn a lot about this. But I think it damages our ability to communicate effectively in person. Be- When someone is used to talk with persons virtually, maybe he doesn't have the tools to maintain a conversation in person, right? And and I think it reduces the empathy when you are with a real person. So, uh, I don't know. I think virtual is good because we can of course we can communicate, but yeah, in some cases it's not so cool.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Benicio. From my view, I believe that internet and social media has deteriorated communication in general. From my view, new generation are like racing, or they are growing up in a area in an era that communication is not a priority, because
Mhm.
there are a lot of tools that they don't even need to learn how to communicate, because of technology. Everything is on their phones. Even their smartphones do the dictation. They do the correction of the words, for example, or even the selection of the right words that they want to do, that they want to send, or they want to convey. So I believe that it's been harmful for society at this point. Obviously, there are other tools that internet offers, like application, artificial intelligence, and all of those tools are useful. But from my view, for young people, it's not being like that useful, because they don't know how to use it, in my opinion. And obviously young people is they are the future of our society.
Mhm.
At least us, when we were like younger, we didn't have that easy access to internet, even though we already have that resource, like at 18, 17. It was not that strong that it is nowadays, for young generation. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. That's my point of view. Perhaps
Good.
somebody's gonna disagree with me. Do you want to add something?
I was thinking about those guys who more it happens more for those influencer YouTubers or those guys who work on social media that
Mm-hmm.
they show a different personality when you are I don't know, streaming maybe.
Mm-hmm.
In the real life, and at sometimes they are not the same way that they used to show on your lives. So maybe when you are virtually, maybe you can show a different part of you that maybe you're not in that person essentially. Uh, I think yeah, as you said, it is this communication in social media. It just it changed a lot what a person could be in real life.
Mm-hmm. Thank
That's
you so
it.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. And I believe that's it. We ran out of time. We were almost there, almost finished our today's questions. However, it's almost 10 p.m. here in Brazil, so let's go to our feedback moment. Thank you so much for have shared your knowledge, Ebenezer. It was a great conversation, as always. And now let's move on to our feedback moment. So I would like to know from you, how was it? If you learned something new, what do you find about the topic, the today's topic? So go ahead, it's your time.
Yeah, I think it's a good topic, essential topic, to learn too. Um, and just pointing those things that could make uh, that can uh, improve the communication, right? Like how important is eye contact, how important is making a pause, and how important is a little bit
Mm-hmm.
silence when you're talking to to other person or maybe an audience. The importance of using emotions, the importance of using the tone of voice. So there are a lot of mini tools to add in the way you communicate to
Mhm.
other persons. So I think the topic was useful for me personally, and a lot of things that can add to my way to communicate.
Thank you so much again for have attended here to our conversation. As always, as I always said, as I always say, uh, it's enough to have to people here to create a good conversation because everybody has something new to share, and I can learn a lot from you, and I'm sure that you can do the same from me. And about the
Yeah.
topic for me, it is a really interesting topic, as you said, and we mentioned it a lot of times. Communication is a wide like it's a like a universe. There are a lot of things that involve communication. It's really an art to if somebody wants to master it. I believe you have to practice a lot. And I believe that the better we get at it, the better our relationship will be with others, not just in a professional context, as well in our personal context. So that's it. There
Yeah.
is it's not a YouTuber, but it's a guy who has his own YouTube channel. It's called Think Fast, Talk Smart, and he speaks just about communication. Communication. He's a professor from Stanford University. So I believe that I sent here in this in the resources some videos about from his YouTube channel. But if you want to like dig a little bit deeper about this topic, you can find that YouTube channel as well. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for having attended our conversation. I hope to see you later. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Ciao ciao.